Everyone's been there. You find a channel that makes great content and spend the next few years watching and engaging with their videos. They start getting bigger and bigger, and you're happy for them. They deserve it. But something changes. The videos aren't the same as before. The joy and comfort you got when you first found the channel is gone. Eventually, you can't take it anymore, so you unsubscribe and move on. These days, it seems like if you're a channel with millions of subscribers, you either get involved in some controversy or people claim that you're all about business now. Mainly fans of your older content, the OGs if you will. Heck, it's likely both of these will happen to you. This YouTuber only cares about the money now. I used to like them when their channel was smaller. I miss their old series. They're getting cringe now. Their community sucks. It just isn't the same anymore. When this happens, many people come to the same conclusion. This guy became too big or went corporate. So why is this occurring more and more often? Well, simply, it's just because there are more big creators than ever. A decade ago, only a few channels were around long enough and big enough to turn corporate. Not to mention that YouTube is being taken more seriously as a job now, and now you have hundreds of creators being called out for running their channels like businesses. So, what causes a channel to be considered too big, and can it even be avoided? Using the best research sources possible, the comment sections of TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit posts, I found 5 traits most associated with the businessification of a YouTube channel. As a channel grows, the overall quality and production of its videos often grow too. This makes sense. You start to make an income and can spend more time and money on your videos. You make bigger videos and hopefully you can make bigger profits. I like to picture this as a graph. The more effort into the content, the more people will like it. However, at some point, you'll reach a maximum, the golden spot. After that, you're doing too much. It's weird to complain about a channel putting too much effort into their content, but let's look at a different scenario. Imagine a channel as a little mom and pop shop. Sure, it's not as refined as a standard market, but the atmosphere is nice, the products are top quality, and you have a great connection with everyone there. Then the shop starts to expand into a big brand store. Sure, the store is bigger than ever, but it kind of ruins what made it great. The store loses all that made it unique. There are all these new people behind the scenes who weren't there before. The products, aka videos, have better editing, writing, etc., but it subdues the main content. You can raise the bar every video, but it eventually loses its impact. Let's look at an example. Who should I choose? MrBeast. I'm going to use MrBeast as an example a lot in this video. The leading example of a creator who became too big. A great way to compare his videos throughout the years is to look at his I spent a certain amount of time in this place, a video structure he's been doing throughout his whole career. If you take a look at one of his latest videos in this series and compare it to one made a couple years ago, you would not only notice better editing, but also better scripting as well, getting straight to the point and showing previews of what we're going to see. Yet, ask older MrBeast fans, and they would rather watch the older and objectively worse produced video. But why? Well, go and watch any other video of present MrBeast, and you'll see
somehow have unrestricted access to all the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Dropped off on this 2,000-year-old ancient temple. I chained this massive rock to a... I am currently on an island infested with snakes. I'm about to show you what a $500,000 experience. We are spending the next 7 days in this massive... I don't normally do intros like this.
It's the same format, intro, preview, content. It's the same over and over, a cycle utilized to get the most engagement. Meanwhile, the 24-hour prison video with the intro skit is unique and looks like it wasn't done to get retention, but because the crew had a fun idea they wanted to do. Despite the increased production and amount they do in newer MrBeast videos. The difference in length between newer to older videos rarely differentiates, so you don't see as much of the Beast gang just hanging out. This is an aspect I think a lot of fans liked in older MrBeast that we don't get to see anymore in newer videos. I think MrBeast can get away with just having a random person we've never seen before in a new video, and many people wouldn't realize because of how little focus is on Jimmy and his friends now. It's not just MrBeast who fell into the idea of doing too much. I've seen people complain about numerous different creators because now they have huge teams producing and creating videos with them, having the feeling like it takes away the authenticity. This is the most contentious reason to complain about anything, let alone content creators. Creators already have a stigma for making fat stacks of cash for doing something anyone can do, so criticizing them for putting too much effort goes against the idea of basically how we want society to run, reward for effort. However, one thing that is certain is the increased cost to increase the production of videos, and to sustain that, many content creators turn to you can't run and you can't hide, whether it's a Surfshark ad, merch, collabs, or some weird side business. Every video these days has an ad segment. I get it. Sponsors probably account for a huge portion of a creator's income. It's inevitable for a growing channel to start doing sponsorship segments. However, promotion is a great way to get into drama. Whether it's supporting a company that turned out to do awful shit or getting called out for making a product just to make a quick buck, it's easy to get people to hate you when you're trying to sell them something. You had Pokemon's expensive cookies, Logan and KSI's crypto scams, Marcus Brownlee's app, Logan and KSI's Prime, Logan and KSI's Lunchy, and pretty much anything MrBeast has done in the last few years. Overall, while no one likes sponsorships, they can be tolerated. However, it's easy for creators to go wild and start trying to put their name on anything for money, and that's when people start comparing you to a corporate business. Sometimes you outgrow a channel. The content is just no longer for your demographic, so you move on. Some time passes and you decide to see how the creator's doing, but you see his latest videos and you think, these are the videos I was watching as a child, but you look further down and then you realize the answer is no. As you got older, the audience of the content you've been watching has been decreasing. When the channel used to be for a wider audience, now it's just pandered to kids with edits, screaming, and references to Skibbity Toilet. It's weird seeing an old creator you used to watch who would curse and be more mature now act like a man-child that would treat cursing as a sin punishable with eternal hell. The biggest victims have to be gaming channels that decide not to grow with their audience but to double down on making the content for kids. I've watched a lot of Minecraft content when I was little, so I know a lot of people that went in this direction. I've seen the likes of Sunday, Fing Noodles, and Preston Place completely shift their content and style to fit an audience closer to a 3-year-old than a 9 or 10-year-old, which was the age I was watching them at. It's just the path that brings them the most success. Plus, they can sell anything to kids, because no matter how trashy the product is, if it has the name of their favorite YouTuber, kids are gonna want it. If you want to see proof of the growth of YouTube as a business opportunity, just look at how many channels got taken over by a company. Smosh, Game Theorist, Fred, and others have had their channels taken over with various levels of success. Mainly no success. Let's focus on Smosh, an example of how their takeover led to their fans' criticism. Its shift in content wasn't what many fans wanted to see, but Smosh had no choice since it had to do what the company that owned them wanted them to do. Another complaint is the departure of key members whom the fans grew to love. You see this all the time. A key member of a group leaves. The effects can range from the dynamic of the group just not being the same, and the fans missing the person who left, to a series of events that just destroyed a channel. Either way, older fans will look to that point as the start of a channel's downfall, as they look for any way to maintain success to make up for the change in the person involved in the content. While, a change in group can be a sign of a channel's fall rather than it getting too big, the cause usually stems from how big the channel has gotten. Maybe the reason this person left is because they thought they did all they wanted to do with this channel and wanted to go and pursue a new challenge. Or it could be a really bad reason, like they left due to disagreements over money or how they were treated. In the end, the person leaves, and when fans start missing them, they blame how big the channel's gotten. Things were better and simpler when the channel was smaller. What has been the thing that connected all the points I made so far? Money. YouTubers have been more wary about the business side than ever. Terms like monetization, 1 of 10, engagement, and algorithms are common YouTube jargon that just was rarely spoken about 10 years ago. Sure, people still make content as a hobby or to share passions, but YouTube and social media are no longer seen as simple content sharing apps like they first were, but as business opportunities. Just look at those videos of influencer factories. It's so dystopian. So, as a channel grows and grows, the focus on needing to make money grows with it. I believe the biggest indicator is when a channel starts making decisions that prioritize engagement and views over what fans actually want to see. Having thumbnails that constantly change, large amounts of transitions and editing, and enticing intros, it's all to see what will keep our attention the longest. At that point, it no longer feels like a connection between creator and fans, but customer and producer. Not a relationship between emotion, but business. Those are the things I see when people start to dislike a YouTuber they used to watch because they became too big or started acting like a business. At the end, I don't see any channel escaping this opinion. While I believe my points are valid and creators can abandon their fans for money, it's subjective whether one puts too much editing in their videos, or if their sponsorships are too much, or if the channel was better with this style of content or the other. In the end, these fans only make up a small percentage of the opinion. There's a reason these channels are bigger than ever, and that's because people enjoyed this content too, no matter how many Twitter threads you see saying otherwise. You can like MrBeast's older content, but all his most popular videos were the ones that were made within the last 2 to 3 years. Luckily, these videos will always be there for you to rewatch to your heart's content. Well, most of the time. Of course, there's the occasion where a channel does do worse even though they go towards the business route. It's a fine line, as some of the decisions you make at your peak can be the start of your decline, leading to a slow death of a channel. But that's a topic for another video. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Do you think a channel really can just get too big? Or is it just people being biased with nostalgia? If you guys like what you see, you could try subscribing and liking so you could stay tuned until next time I do something. See you next time, losers.